Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of our Junior Ranger program. Today I am coming to you from Refugio State Beach, but as a matter of fact, we're going to explore all three of our coastal parks, including Gaviota State Park and El Capitan State Beach. And we're going to be talking about our coastline. Can you guess what specific part of our coastline we'll be discussing today? Well, if you said we would be talking about the tide pools, you got it right. And as a matter of fact, we do have some tide pools here at Refugio, but we're mainly going to be looking at some of the tide pools at our other two parks. Well, before we go ahead and see the tide pools, we have to figure out what a tide pool is. Well, a tide pool is generally a rocky area where creatures live along the coast. Now, those tide pools, we also call that the intertidal zone. And there's different zones where different creatures live in that. And this is a very harsh environment for all of these creatures to live in because of the temperature and the salinity of the water. Oh, and imagine the waves pounding on you all day long. Those are some of the few reasons why this is such a harsh environment. Well, are you ready to go explore some of the tide pools? Well, come along, let's go! Can you guess what animal this is living in our tide pool? Well, this here is a sea star, one of my absolute favorite animals that lives in the ocean. And so the sea star has 5 arms. Okay, let's count its arms. Can you count with me? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Nice work. But this is a sea star, and it likes to latch onto the rocks, and it always searches for food. One of the most common things that it likes to eat are mussels. Do you see any creatures? Well, I see one that stands out to me, and it's a bird. That bird there, that is a seagull. They are a common find in the tide pools. Wait, look up in the sky. Do you see those pelicans soaring above us? Can you guess what this is? Well, this here is a black turban snail. Kind of like the snails that we have in our backyards, but this snail lives in the tide pools and in the ocean. Do you see all of those little round things latched onto the rocks? Has anyone ever seen those before? Well, those are called limpets, and they latch onto the rocks, and they like to try to find food like seaweed and kelp. But they stay latched on there really tight, but those are limpets. And now we're gonna play a game. Can you guess what this animal is? Nice work, it's a whale. More specifically, this is a humpback whale. Well, our humpback whales, and we also have gray whales that swim up and down the coast in California. Well, they have something really special. They have this right here. Take a closer look at this. What do you think this could be? Oh, I know, right? It's their hair, right? It's their hair? No? It's not their hair? Oh, they have like beards, don't they? They don't have that either? I wonder what it could be from. Wait a second, from their mouth? Yeah, you got it, this here? This is called baleen. Can you say the word baleen? Well, baleen is in the mouth of some whales, like our gray whales, and these baleens, this helps them to capture their food. Yeah, you can see it's kind of like hair. It's really kind of pokey. Well, and that reminds me of what this is made out of. All right, I want you to look at your fingernails. Okay, let's look at our fingernails. All right, cool. Oh, and then I want you to feel your hair. Oh, so the same stuff your fingernails and your hair is made out of, it's called keratin. And that's what this baleen is made from. On to our next animal. Can you guess what animal this could be? Nice work. If you said this was a mussel, you got it right. All right. Awesome. Well, yep, you got it. This here, this is a mussel shell. We call this a California mussel. And so, do these look like your mussels that you have? No, they don't. Well, these are the mussels of the ocean. Can you guess what this sea creature is? Nice work. If you said this was an abalone, you got it right. Great work at identifying this species. This here is our abalone, our red abalone shell. Because what color is this shell? You got it. This is red, so it's a red abalone. And look on the inside. Look at all of those colors that are there. This is one of my favorite shells because it's just so beautiful with so many different colors. And so normally though, there's an animal that lives here. It's kind of like a snail that lives in the ocean. And it latches onto the rocks and it grazes on kelp and seaweed as it moves along the rocks. How about this sea creature? Can you guess what it could be? Great job! This here is a bat ray. Whoa, wait a second. What is this? Wow. Right, this is either one of our stingrays, or we generally see bat rays here in California that come during the summer months. And it's always important when we go into the water, right into the ocean here, we do something called the stingray shuffle. So what we do is we put our feet in and we just shuffle our feet and we just kind of move there, because then it kicks up all the sand and it will scare these creatures away from us, because we don't want to get stung by them, because it does hurt a lot. Wait, what is this here? Is this a bear, like what's on my patch? Or could it be a creature who lives in the ocean? Oh, that's right. This is a sea otter. All right, well, nice work. We have our sea otter. Oh, whoa, I brought one with me today. Well, I'm down towards Southern California, and these sea otters, this is the southernmost place that they live, is right here where I'm at Gaviota State Park. But this is one of our sea otters. They're a very important keystone species, we call them, that live in our ocean. Well, okay, well, they like to eat something really special too. Okay, let's see. Wait, you're hungry? Okay, well, our sea otter is gonna dive down, I think, and get something. Okay, let's see. I wonder what it could come up with, because they dive down into the ocean and they're gonna get some sort of food. What could it be? Okay, well, let's see what it pops up with. Nice work! Did any of you say it would pop up with this creature here? Well, let's take a closer look at it. Well, this is a sea urchin. Can you guess what kind of sea urchin this is? Well, after all, it is purple. So this is our purple sea urchin. And that's one of the most favorite things that these sea otters eat. And look, if we look on the bottom, do you see that hole right there? Sea otters actually ate this sea urchin, and we collected it to share with everyone. So, well, all right. Well, these sea otters, do they also use tools? Do you use tools when you eat? Well, believe it or not, a fork or a knife or a spoon, those are all tools that people use to eat their foods. But do you think sea otters, do they have those kinds of tools? have that. They use this. Rocks. Yep, rocks are their tools that they use to break open sea urchins and clamshells and mussel shells. They use those rocks. That's their tool they use. They always have a tool. And then when they're done eating their food, or actually they eat their food on their stomachs, just like this. This is their dinner table. Is your stomach your dinner table? Well, I hope not, but you might be a sea otter if you eat on your stomach. Well, and then after the sea otter eats, they like to put their leftovers under their arms, just like this. Do you leave your leftovers under your arm? Well, I know I don't do that. Up the coast at Gaviota State Park is one of our network of marine protected areas in California. All of the intertidal species are part of that marine protected area, which is called Kashkayit State Marine Conservation Area. Well, all right, everyone. Well, I have a story that I thought that you would all like to do. And it has to do with the ocean that we've been talking about today. And the story is called The Missing Circle. Well, and it goes like this. There once was a great big blue whale in a deep, dark sea. He was very sad because he was looking for something. He was looking for a circle, and he swam around and around and around looking for a circle when he came across a purple octopus. And the blue whale asked the purple octopus, well, have you seen a circle? And the purple octopus said, well, what's a circle? And the blue whale said, well, a circle is a shape that has no sides. It's as round as the moon and moves with the tide. I'll help you look, said the purple octopus. And so they swam around and around and around looking for a circle when they came across a yellow fish. All right, well, what do you think they asked the yellow fish? That's right. Have you seen a circle? And what do you think? What did the yellow fish say? Well, what's a circle? And the purple octopus and the blue whale replied, well, a circle is a shape that has no sides. It's as round as the moon and moves with the tide. I'll help you look, said the yellow fish. And they swam around and around and around looking for a circle when they came across a red seahorse. And they asked the red seahorse, okay, what did they ask again? What's a circle? Well, and they replied, a circle is a shape that has no sides. It's as round as the moon and moves with the tide. I'll help you look, said the red seahorse. And so they swam around and around and around looking for a circle when they swam into a gray seal. They asked the seal, well, have you seen a circle? And the seal replied, well, what's a circle? And they replied, well, a circle is a shape that has no sides. It's round as the moon and moves with the tide. Well, I'll help you, said the gray seal. And so they all swam around and around and around looking for a circle when they swam into a red crab. Oh, and they asked the red crab, have you seen a circle? And the red crab said, well, what's a circle? And they replied, well, a circle is a shape that has no sides. It's as round as the moon and moves with the tide. Well, I'll help you look, said the red crab. And so the group, they swam around and around and around looking for a circle. And they didn't find one, so they all swam home. Pretty cool story, huh? It's one of my favorites. It's the missing circle. As you can tell, those sea creatures, they never found their circle. All right, well, I invite all of you to go ahead and check out the tide pools in your area, because the tide pools are just so amazing to explore. But when you go and see those tide pools, there's a couple things that you need to remember. The first one is to remember to bring really good walking shoes, because the rocks, they're very slippery, and you need to have shoes that have really good traction. Now, speaking of those slippery rocks, there are a lot of different creatures who call the tide pools their home. And when you're stepping on them, we want to make sure that we don't step on the creatures on those rocks. So we always have to be aware of our surroundings. And that reminds me of our third thing that we need to remember, is that all of those creatures, they live in the tide pool. We're visitors to their home. So we don't want to pick them up or take any of those creatures home with us. But it's a good idea to take pictures and leave those memories there at the tide pools. All right, everyone. Well, now that we've come to the end of our program, it is time for our Junior Ranger Pledge. All right, you ready? Let's raise our hands. I promise to treat the earth and all living things with care and respect. Be thoughtful about what I do and how it affects others. Learn about the importance of nature and our heritage. Great work, everyone. Well, I look forward to seeing you all on our next adventure.